The following Adhesives article is brought to you by Scrapbooking.com magazine from the April 2013 issue. It's a Beautiful Day by author and artist Jenny Garcia for Tombow Adhesives. This layout was inspired by rainbows since the photo was taken on a very beautiful day. Because I wanted to use all the colors of the rainbow in my layout, I didn't want to go crazy with busy pattern papers because it becomes too much for the eye. So when I do a layout, I prefer to go crazy with just one element, like color, design, the photos, journaling, or a big title. I knew I wanted to include lots of stitching, but I underestimated how time-consuming it would be. Stitching on layouts is very easy. However, if you plan to do a lot of it, be sure to take into consideration how much time you have to devote to it. My first step was to choose a pattern paper with all the colors of the rainbow for my base. I then trimmed a piece of white cardstock to 11 3/4 inches square to put on top of it. I used another piece of the same size paper and a ruler to make the template for my stitching. I glued the template to the original paper using the Tombow removable adhesive. After you're done, just rub it with your finger and it comes right off without leaving marks. I then pierced the paper using a Sew Easy with a foam pad underneath. After piercing the paper, I decided which color I was going to use on each line and wrote it down on the template. Now comes the hard part, the stitching. It did take a while, but I love the result. After I was done stitching, I used Tombow's Stamp Runner dot adhesive to glue the white cardstock onto the multicolored pattern paper base. Remember to put adhesive between the stitch lines. I glued the photos using Tombow foam dots because I have a little dimension in the area where they were going to be set, and I didn't want a wavy effect once they were glued down. I wanted to add more of the rainbow effect, so I used scraps to punch out half-inch circles. Using the Tombow Mono Multi-Liquid Glue, I glued the circles underneath the photos and added a few circle stickers. I added journaling to my journaling card and then glued it down. I also used a little Polaroid that I made with a die-cutting machine focusing on my daughter's shoes. I used Dear Lizzie thickers for the title. I chose pink to match the color of my daughter's pants. I thought the stitched lines needed a little something extra, and I really wanted to use the Epiphany Crafts Star 25 tool. So I took more pattern paper scraps to make some stars. I also added gems and circle stickers to the stitch lines. Finally, I looked at the layout and decided to doodle around the page to finish it up. A printable project card with instructions and a list of supplies can be found by clicking on the step-by-step instructions link within the online version of this article. To find the products featured in this Tombow Adhesives article and shown in this layout, check with your local scrapbook retailer. Browse our premier retail stores for coupons to a store near you. We hope you enjoyed this article from Scrapbooking.com magazine. For more creative inspiration, be sure to check out all of the great articles and projects in this month's issue.